Arizona State over Arkansas. Amoya and Clack will be the running backs, along with Van Raphorst, the quarterback. They'll have Stein Koss at a tight end. Bruce Hill and Aaron Cox will be the two wideouts in the ball game. The ball is on the 36-yard line, 1st and 10 ASU. Clack, midfield, and into Arkansas territory before Otis Lloyd made the final hit. Lots of punts in that third quarter, Kyle, 5 of them.
Let's take a look at some of the double teaming, and you see a tremendous hole being opened up on the inside by Kevin Thomas, the center. Clack goes in right behind it, and the linebackers going with flow the other way.
A young offensive line, only one senior, David Finotti, the left tackle. Darryl Clack lining up with a tailback out of the eye. That offensive line has done a good job tonight. Clack gets the call. They really don't have much in the way of backup offensive linemen, so the people that are doing the job now have been in there all night long, so credit goes to them.
The backups, 4 of the 5 are freshmen, so.
Got a young team. In fact, on the offense, Kyle, only 3 when Clack is out there, 4 seniors all night long in the offense. The rest are juniors, sophomores, and freshmen.
Defense is about the same way, only 3 seniors.
Richard Brothers, Atwater, and Kevin Wyatt in that 3 deep zone coverage now as the deep backs for Arkansas. And Amoya trying to work behind the center and guard, gets very little running room. And so it's going to bring up a 3rd down situation. Gerald Jones will get credit for the tackle.
Well, he got penetration, got a handout. Had he not done that, it could easily have been another 1st down pickup.
We should mention here that Arkansas lost maybe their best defensive lineman in Raven Caldwell, who fractured a knee. A senior, he is here on the sidelines, but did not get a chance to participate in most of the season.
I think he's the reason that Van Raphorst has not been under pressure, because Raven Caldwell is a sack specialist.
Got some pressure that time, though, didn't he? And the ball was deflected by Calvin Williams.
Well, as we mentioned, they can't afford to just rush with 4 people anymore. They're going to have to bring a lot more than that. On the outside, number 13, Calvin Williams, the junior, used to play defensive tackle, so he's used to that kind of penetration.
Bobby Joe Edmonds will be back deep. Horn to kick. And the ball hits on the near side and defended and finally touched there by Arizona State. So they'll put the ball in play after a 32-yard punt. We'll be right back, 14-7. From San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium, where Arizona State holds a 14-7 lead over Arkansas. No scoring in the 3rd. We're in the 4th. 13-19 to play. 1st and 10 on the 16. Cal Cagney. And he pitches it back to Carl Miller, who tries to come to the short side of the field, and Eric Allen bumps him right there, and he goes not too far. Kyle, you know, interestingly enough, field position in the second half controlled by the punting game, whereas in the first game the punters could do nothing right. So we've had a complete reversal in at least one facet of the ball game.
Certainly have, and all we've had in the second half have been punts. 6 punts, 3 each team. Arkansas receiving the second half kickoff, now with their 4th possession.
2nd and 7. Ball in the 19. Cal Cagney. And there's that wishbone option quarterback, and he's run out over there by Greg Battle, a 222-pounder from California, a 4-year starter. That's quite a feat to be able to come away from your college career and say you started all 4 years.
Well, he kept fighting to try to get up to that 1st down marker, and we'll see if he did.
His inside linebacking buddy John Knight gives him a couple of high fives. Miller, Foreman, and Rouse are the running backs. Theo Young is checked in at a tight end. You know, talking about how close this game was, and we mentioned it right at the beginning, 1st downs, ASU 15, Arkansas 14, time of possession, one team 21, the other 24. There's James Rouse. And over the 30-yard line, Rouse carrying the football. And Trace Armstrong, along with Anthony Parker, give him a little tandem tackle. There's our blimp and our captain, John Clayton. One of the Goodyear operators. Tremendous aesthetic view of Jack Murphy Stadium here in San Diego. Our thanks to Goodyear and Captain Clayton. What a beautiful shot, isn't it? And we hope it is a good year for you in 1986. 12:15 to play in the ball game. Rouse. Well, he's starting to carry the football quite a bit now. Rouse with 11 carries, but picking it up. Billy Robinson in battle with the tacklers.
Rouse has the kind of talent. He's got good speed, but he also has the juking ability, and he can sidestep you.
Has 66 yards in the ball game. Shebest checks in with a play, and will split out to the near side. He replaces Luther Franklin. Thomas on a 2nd and 5. On the fake, they go to Rouse. As they fake it into the line to Derek Thomas, the fullback, and Anthony Parker. You know, Anthony Parker, for an ex-running back, hits pretty hard out there defensively.
Arkansas not getting the really big gainers. They usually, at this point in the game, have already broke at least 3 or 4 loose. One good pickup by Rouse earlier, but not a lot of 10 and 15-yard pickups on the pitch to the last back.
What's your philosophy, Kyle? I mean, we've talked about running games, passing games. Do you like to see a running game or a passing game in the college?
Well, I love to see passing if you don't have the strength to be able to run the ball. But when you take a flex bone, the flex bone to me, Eddie, combines the best of both worlds. You got to have good blocking scheme to be able to make it happen, but you also have the good passing off of it because it's so deceptive. And Bobby Joe Edmonds does a little hurdling action there.
Pretty good athlete,
yes,
huh?
He is.
David Fulcher's back in. He had a sore finger. In fact, jammed it in the first half, but he's in there playing with it right now. So Fulcher stopping Bobby Joe. 11:28. First down and 10 on the 49-yard line. Cal Cagney. And he'll give it over to the running back, Bobby Joe Edmonds, and stopped by Eric Allen. Not a lot of mistakes in terms of fumbles, pass interceptions. We've seen a few. And another thing that has been very apparent, not many penalties at all tonight. Sharp teams.
Talking earlier about the passing. Passing has been the great equalizer for most of the 1970s and the early 1980s with the new liberalized rules on how you can use your hands. But in the last year or two with Colorado, with Air Force, with Arkansas, the wishbone, the flexbone has come back into vogue.
Cal Cagney on a 2nd and 9 and swings it over to Edmonds, and he can't hang on. He started to look upfield. Sean Patterson pressuring on the pass.
Well, we had a naked swing pattern that time. If he had caught it, 2 Arizona State Sun Devils were right in his face. By the way, we congratulate Arizona State one more time for their tremendous attendance record. The attendance champs in the Pac-10 again. 4th straight year they've done that, averaging right about 65,000 fans a ball game.
Do a good job down at Arkansas also. They love their Hogs down in Arkansas. 3rd down and 9 on the 48. Derek Thomas is in. They're 8 for 15 on 3rd down situations. Complete! Bobby Joe Edmonds to the 24-yard line. Bobby Joe Edmonds. And tackle over here by Eric Allen. Greg Battle was also there.
Well, replay. Centers is going to clear out here so that Edmonds can come underneath. Centers going deep. Edmonds now makes the move to the sideline and trying to pick up on him. With that, you've got a linebacker, Greg Battle, and that's going to be always a mismatch.
So 9 for 16 on 3rd down conversions. Edmonds now 6 catches for 74 yards. Cal Cagney, and he spins his way inside the 20-yard line. Battle the tackler. Remember, Arkansas trailing by 7 with 10:10 to play in the ball game. Here at Jack Murphy, the Holiday Bowl on USA Sports.
Oh, they're getting pumped up over there on the sidelines, trying to turn it back into a hog heaven.
Hog heaven.
They can sense.
Hog heaven.
Yeah,
I've heard that one before.
That's what they call Razorback Stadium up there in Fayetteville.
You missed my line about the ham bone instead of the flex bone. 14-7, ASU over Arkansas. Cal Cagney, pitch it back at the last moment. Bobby Joe Edmonds for a touchdown.
Oh, boy.
And the disappointed look on one of the Sun Devil cheerleaders. Boy, you talk about execution on the pitch that time off of that flex ball.
Well, this is what we really talked about. He doesn't make too many mistakes. Cal Cagney forces the last pitch, and coming up there trying is Eric Allen, the cornerback. Cornerback has got to stay with the pitch man And you've got to let Cal Cagney pick up the short gain as the cornerback. And right there's the look.
Boy, he's had a nice game, Kyle. Not only receiving, but running for the touchdown. That's his first touchdown of the year running.
Number 7 right there, Fulcher, is the man who's assigned the quarterback on that. And that's really the mistake of Eric Allen. Again, in his defense, they have not seen much option teams this year, and certainly not seen an option team like the Flexbone.
Actually, they've done a pretty good job of it. Go ahead.
Reading her lips, do you believe that? Thank you for at least being clean. So many times we have to apologize to the lip readers.
Ah, they got clean students down there at ASU. 14-13, Arizona State. You're late in the ball game. You have 9:37 to play. You're Ken Hatfield. You make the decision here.
Well, their team wants 10 wins. After they lost to A&M and they knew they weren't going to the Cotton Bowl, they set a new goal. That was to win 10 ball games. If they tie it up, they don't win 10 ball games.
That was some signal that they just relayed from the ASU bench. Defensive signal, and they're going to go for the 2, and that was the decision we talked about. 9:37 to play. Did he get there? He did!
Oh boy, I tell you, the
What
ball
a call.
got there. His headgear might have not have gotten there. His shoulders, I don't believe, got close to the goal line, but he held out the ball. A la basketball, going for the jam. Let's look. The fullback dive is the first fake through. And here comes Cal Cagney over the top. There's the ball in his hands.
Oh my.
And he reaches over the goal line.
What a gutsy call by the Arkansas bench. They've gone ahead by 1, 15-14.
Watch.
14, and that young man, Bobby Joe Edmonds, has had a terrific night here in San Diego. It's the Holiday Bowl, and it's on USA, coming your way across the nation. One of our many bowl games we're featuring this year. Kendall Traynor on the run-up. Daryl Clack is back now with Chip Risch. And it's Clack. He's going to try and run it out.
He's a big play man.
And he gets back to the 20 and maybe the 21-yard line. I don't know if I'd have made that decision, Kyle, but he got there.
Well, they need to perhaps take some risks. Chip Risch back there pleading with him not to leave the end zone.
I'd have taken that plea. I'd have gone right down on one knee and say, hey, put it at the 20. I didn't give him much chances. Van Raphorst comes back. Keep in mind, only a 103-yard game passing so far.
That's the first time they put Clack in there to return kickoffs all season long. Crawford, the normal kick returner back there, so.
Ball at the 21. Amoya and Crawford are the running backs. And on a give, breaking up over the left side is Crawford. Basil, the linebacker from Panama City, who redshirted in '83 but came back, made the tackle. There's some of the guys from ASU. Salamua is the big man on the far side. And some of his mates. Crawford now 92 yards rushing on 15 carries. Amoya and Crawford 2nd and 2 for a first down. That's Amoya. He's got the first down and then some. And he's at the 35. Basil, the linebacker, stopping him.
Plenty of time for the Sun Devils. And they have made some long drives today. The opening field goal was a 79-yard drive. They have the confidence that they can do it.
But so close, Kyle. And again, coming back to reinforce the point we made right at the top. Close game. All the statistics close so far. And we're right down now to the final 8:45 of the ball game. And Arkansas with a 1-point lead. That's Crawford. And now they're starting to do some running. Greg Lasker, the safety, along with Kevin Anderson, making sure he doesn't go any further than he did. Danny Villa had a tremendous block. He might be their best offensive lineman, 277-pound junior from Nogales, and they love the way he plays the game.
You know, we were talking with Coach Cooper yesterday. There was no question, Eddie, when you asked him that question, who is the best lineman? So many times coaches will say, well, 2 or 3 guys are good, or this and that. I mean, he went right to Danny Villa.
2nd and 4, ball at the 41-yard line. Hill in motion. And Amoya over the middle gets 4 yards. Vince Amoya.
Tell you what, if I'm Kent Bostrom, the field goal kicker for Arizona State, I'm getting real nervous at this point.
Yeah, because he has had the opportunity to bail them out on more than one occasion this year, and he has not delivered. Although, tonight, 2 field goals, and those are big, big numbers right now. A 47-yarder, his longest, and a 22-yarder in the first half.
That's always, what did you do for me this quarter, not what did you do for me last.
But they would have loved to have had him make that 22-yarder in the Arizona game, because that would have sent him to the Rose Bowl.
Drove all the way to the 5-yard line, not much more than an extra point kick.
Kevin Anderson, Lasker, and Wyatt, the deep secondary. 3rd down and 1. Van Raphorst. And another first down, complete to Jeff Gallimore, the tight end.
Well, this is where Arkansas does give up yardage, in the midfield area. On short yardage, the dive fake. Outside, he's got 2 receivers out. The tight end is there, makes a good catch. Very clean, safe play.
And the ball is inside the 45-yard line. They're at the 44 with a 1st and 10 and 7:30 to play. White, Basil, Miller, and Dudley are the linebackers for Arkansas. Van Raphorst. Complete. Aaron Cox to the 15-yard line. Kevin Anderson, the tackler, but they finally unloaded their big play man again. 29 yards.
Ran a very simple post pattern. Got Anderson to back up and then broke it to the inside. He's only looking at 1 receiver the whole way. And you see coming in late is Greg Lasker, who had moved up on the play action and was out of position.
Aaron Cox with a tight end, or I should say with the touchdown in the first half, and another big catch right here. On the give, they go to Crawford. Calvin Williams from Greenville, Texas, made the stop, and Arizona State has got it going now. Under 7 minutes to play in the ball game, and they trail it by 1.
Well, they're inside the 10. In essence, they have 7 downs to score a touchdown because they're only 4 yards from another first down.
Crawford now with 106 yards on 17 carries. This time he doesn't get too far. David Basil stopping Crawford. Gerald Jones helping out on the tackle. And the clock will continue to tick. It's down to 6:25 in this 8th annual Holiday Bowl. Arkansas with a 1-point lead as they go for 2, and they get it done. John Cooper, his first year at Arizona State, his 9th year as a head coach after 14 years as an assistant. As he said, his feet still haven't touched the ground over the ASU job. He loves it. Van Raphorst, good pressure. Number 99 was right there. That's Rodney Beecham. Well, on 12 times coming into this game, Kyle, they had stopped the opponents behind the line of scrimmage in 1 game. New Mexico State.
That we saw very quickly on the replay. What happened there is Van Raphorst went the wrong way. And John Cooper is saying that. Van Raphorst, it looked like a naked bootleg. It wasn't that at all. He had Mike Crawford in front of him blocking on the opposite tackle.
4th down and 6, so it's going to be Bostrom. 28-yard attempt. Little off angle. In the air. Good! Bostrom has done it again. And what has feared John Cooper the most has come out to be the best. His kicking game. 3 field goals and a 2-point ASU lead.
Energizer Halogen, a light so bright, so white, no ordinary light can match it. The Energizer Halogen flashlight.
23 seconds to play in the 8th annual Holiday Bowl. It's another close one. Not as high a scoring game as they've had in the past, but 17-15. Arizona State just taking the lead on the 3rd field goal of the night by Kent Bostrom.
This is so much fun. This is great. You've got a game coming down to 2 parts of the games for the teams and the coaches that they always want to be strong points, the field goal kicking. Just a great defensive battle. Very entertaining despite the low score.
Kick is coming back. And taken by Bobby Joe Edmonds. Good kick coverage by Arizona State, and he gets back to about the 18, maybe the 19-yard line. So Edmonds has not been able to unload any big runs either, and that time Larry McLaughlin, a defensive lineman, was down under the kick. Yeah, it has been terrific, Kyle, no question. 10 plays, 68 yards, 414. Bostrom He has a 22, a 47, and now a 28-yard field goal. And he was the man that they doubted most. McClendon, Patterson, Armstrong, McLaughlin, Rudolph across the front line defensively. Foreman, Van Dyke, and Rouse are the running backs in the bone. Cal Cagney, the quarterback. And Robinson on the stop. Kyle, the outside man, or the man defensively covering the pitch man, has done a good job all night long staying disciplined to make sure he maintained his fix on that man that might be getting the pitch back.
With the one exception, that last touchdown that Rouse had, he's been able to do that, and that's something that was really feared by Coach John Cooper. They hadn't seen that, and he normally wants his cornerbacks to crash the ball to provide support and to go where the action is. Here they're having to lay back a little bit, and that's a totally different defensive strategy for them.
It's a 2nd down and 4, 26-yard line, 4:35 to play in the game. Arkansas trails by a pair. And Marshall Foreman, the fullback, trying to go to the middle. Did not get the first down. Larry McLaughlin on the stop. Going along with what we just talked about, John Cooper said eventually he wants to get assignment people who can ride with the assignment. He feels right now he has reactionary football players, and that's why he feared that they might immediately go to the ball instead of staying disciplined and covering that pitch man and exposing themselves.
They certainly haven't given up in as many big games as I expected.
3rd down and 2, 1st down. Derek Thomas gets the first down for Arkansas. Scott Stephen, the hitter. Two finely tuned teams.
Fullback in there, if he sees he's got some space, he really holds on to the ball and almost pulls it out of Cal Cagney's hands. If he doesn't grab hard, and if Cal Cagney sees that the pitch man is going to be open, he'll pull it back out.
They have the full bone. Ball on the 36-yard line. And again, trying to stay on the ground, Derek Thomas, Skip McClendon, Greg Battle. McClendon, a 264-pounder from the Detroit area, and Battle from Wilmington, California.
Clock beginning to be a factor now. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. About 62 yards to go to touchdown territory, and they can't waste too much time here.
17-15. Arizona State with 3:21 to play. Derek Thomas, number 40. Cal Cagney to pass. James Rouse. And he shakes his man and then stumbles to the 40-yard line before Scott Stevens stops him. But the clock continues to roll, Kyle, and they're still not in great field position.
Well, when the linemen come out to the outside, the defense reacts quickly, and they're over there. Not too much finesse as they came out trying to block on that. Chris Paquette out there, 65, the guard, and when they break out to provide some support to that screen, the Arizona State defense was there.
Cal Cagney on a 3rd and 5. Big time for a 3rd down pass. Good! Bobby Joe Edmonds.
That catch. Oh!
Diving on a play they had to have at the 38-yard line. Oh, what a call for a team that doesn't like to pass. 3rd and 5, and they get it.
And Edmonds coming out of the backfield here. The wide receivers, again, going deep. This is the sideline pattern earlier. You see centers, number 1, taking the cornerback deep. Terrific catch on the sidelines with that curl out.
That was a pro catch right there. Edmonds, Thomas, Van Dyke. They fill out the wishbone or the flex bone or the ham bone, whichever you prefer. 10 for 17, Cal Cagney rides his man right into the line and then keeps. And John Knight, the linebacker, makes the stop with 2:30 to play in the game. And Arkansas trailing by a pair. And a timeout called by Arkansas, one of their 3 in the second half. So we have a timeout. And it's Arizona State with a 2-point lead and 2:24 to play in the ball game. We're at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. Don't go away now. Last here with USA Tonight, Eddie Doucette, Kyle Rowe Jr., and our USA College Football 85 crew in San Diego. And the Holiday Bowl is our site. 17-15. Arkansas trailing by a pair. They have the ball on the 36. 2nd down and 7. James Rouse inside the 35-yard line. Jim Reynosa and Greg Battle stop him there, but the clock continues to move.
2:12 left, 2 timeouts left for Arkansas. And Arizona State players are going to take plenty of time getting up. And now a quick snap as we're taking a look at Kendall Traynor, who's the field goal kicker.
3rd down and 4, Kyle. This is a big play right here. Rouse outside. Second effort, third effort, down inside the 30-yard line. He needed 4. I do not think he got it. Battle, Knight, and Fulcher.
It's going to be short about a yard.
This is a tough call if they bring in Trainer. He was not the starting field goal kicker at the beginning of the year. The punter, Greg Horn, was. His longest field goal was 47 yards. And that was the first field goal he tried as a college performer, and that was in a USA game against Houston. We had that one, and of course we made remarks at the time. This kid may have it. Since that time, he was 4 for 9. Not great.
And this field goal will be 46 or 47 yards if they take it from here. The ball spotted on the 30-yard line.
They're going to bring in Freddie Childress now, just to make sure that he's in there to block. And we'll tell you right here that Arkansas has no timeouts remaining. Don't forget that USA has a continuing menu of bowl games for you. Kyle and I will be at the Freedom Bowl in Anaheim. That'll be coming up on the 30th. That's an important one to keep in mind. And then the next day we'll have the Bluebonnet Bowl and then the North-South game, and that'll be in January. Check your local time and listings, and remember that USA Sports will be at all of them as College Football 85 continues right here on USA.
And as Arkansas has made the decision to go for it.
4th down, less than a yard. Edmonds, Thomas, Rouse. Edmonds gets the call. Reynosa gets the tackle. I believe they've got a first down. What a game Bobby Joe Edmonds has played. He's been everywhere.
Well, they're going to go to the airwaves, but not the airwaves with the pass, the airwaves with the diving Bobby Joe Edmonds as he leaps over the crumpled Sun Devil defense to pick up the first down.
Kyle, remember, they have no timeouts remaining. We have 1:37 to play. Cal Cagney. And here more than ever, they must protect the football. Patterson, Knight, and Battle all combining on the tackle. And again, we're winding down to another Holiday Bowl type finish. Deep breaths all over the place. Edmonds, Thomas, Rouse, they're the running back. And anxious John Cooper on the sideline for Arizona State. He only gave up an average of 11.7 as they try and go to the outside. We'll check that. That was Rouse, tackled by McClendon. A little over 13 points a game during the season. And now he's going to have to find a way to stiffen again. 17-15. 51 seconds to play in the game. And we'll remind you that Herbalife will be seen in its entirety immediately following this football game on USA. Stay with us. Bobby Joe Edmonds, Derek Thomas, and James Rouse are the running backs. 3rd and 4 on the 22-yard line. They're trying to get it into a good field position now, as Cal Cagney on a quarterback keeper stopped by John Knight. And now with 25 seconds, here comes Kendall Trainer. Ball is on the 22-yard line.
Arizona State is going to take the timeout. Give Trainer some more time to think about things.
Big kick for this young man. Well, I watched him in practice the other day, Kyle, and he was very active. It's a different ball game when you come out here and try and do it in game conditions with a lot on the line like this. Good timeout by Arizona State.
Be about a 35-yard attempt.
And we'll take a break. It's 17-15, Arizona State. We're winding down to the close.
From an ancient monastery.
Where did you find these?
Let's make a deal.
To the wild jungles of Mexico.
We are planning an expedition.
Simon McCorkindale chases the robbers of the Sacred Mountain on the USA Movie at
8-15. Arizona State but Arkansas with a 37-yard attempt coming. A little off center, kicking to the right. Kendall Trainer. 4 for 9. In the air. Looks good. Good!
One more time, Kendall Traynor, the freshman from Fredonia, Kansas, came to Arkansas because they had a great baseball program. Has perhaps won the Holiday Bowl for the Razorbacks on the football field.
How important has the field goal kicking been tonight? And how much in suspect were both field goal kickers coming in? Traynor, who was 4 for 9 regular season. Bostrom, who certainly had his problems. The young man, who is a freshman from Wheaton, Illinois, was 15 of 21, but he missed the big ones, and he had 3. Traynor has the one that right now has his team on top, 18-17, with 21 seconds to play, and another unbelievable finish for the Holiday Bowl. Every year it's the same thing. While we have this opportunity, my thanks to some very excellent people who have worked with us, including our statistician Jan Chapman, our spotters Hank Kelly and Richard Waninger, and they've done a terrific job. And now John Cooper will try and get something done in the final 21 seconds, or else swallow another bitter pill on the heels of the Arizona loss. Deep. That's Clack to the 30, and pumped out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Did not want to risk Clack returning kicks early on in the season, but here when they have only time left, they're going to go ahead and do it.
And the man that kicks off, Kendall Traynor, makes the saving tackle.
Well, Kendall Traynor's got to be in literal hog heaven now. He is down there. He's playing with every bit of adrenaline that there is as he is on a cloud after making that field goal.
I'm going to put him up there in big hog heaven. He will start for the Arkansas baseball team in center field, but he'll start again here as a kicker next year, I'm sure. Hill, Dave, Cox, they've got all their wideouts and all their speed in the game. Van Rapphorst on a turnout. And complete over here to the near side to Aaron Cox. Kevin Wyatt runs him out. 9 seconds to play in the football game. Remember our halftime feature? BYU. Don't lose sight of it.
Remember
now.
last year, BC Miami, it took 2 passes for Flutie to get the ball into the end zone. The first one to get him into the distance where they could go to the end zone, and we're about the same spot on the field for Arizona State.
9 seconds to play. 18-17 Arkansas with a 1-point lead. They've yo-yoed the lead here in the fourth quarter after a scoreless third quarter. Rapid departure from the first half here. A little bit more open, more exciting. And error-free football, and a good game that it has been. Both teams have played well. There's Big Danny Villa. You know, I have to say this. You don't really get a chance to play credit to offensive linemen, defensive linemen. I think Arizona State's offensive line, without any substitution help at all, have been terrific tonight.
What a tremendous game. Again, Arkansas not the best pass rushing team, but it doesn't make any difference. They've opened the holes when they've needed the yardage on the ground. They've given Van Rapphorst the time he needs, not just on the last pass, but all night long to get the ball off.
And now it comes down to the final 9 seconds. Maybe one final play, depending upon what they decide to do right here. Shell, Cherico, Beecham. They have 3 down linemen for Arkansas. They're bringing everybody else in there to try to defend against the big pass with Cox, Bruce Hill, Gallimore, and Paul Day, all their best wideouts in the game for ASU. Jeff Van Rapphorst, good time.
Threw it underneath.
Almost incomplete, but that should kill the clock with 3 seconds. Otis Lloyd was right there as they went to Paul Day.
Well, they've set up as if they were going to the end zone twice, but twice they've come off of it with a variation. The first time they picked up the big yardage. Here they're going to set up a field goal with just a long gain, not going for the end zone, and it's an incomplete pass.
Kent Bostrom has come on. Paul Day, incidentally, is a local San Diego product. He was the man that had the open pass and dropped it against the Arizona team that would have put them in the Rose Bowl also, and has not played up until this last couple of plays here tonight. Bostrom, prior to tonight, 15 of 21 as we'd mentioned, but he's had 3 big field goals here tonight. This will be a 59-yarder. Now remember, as I said, no wind here at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. So it's strictly his toe against whatever kind of a rush that Arkansas can put on.
And remember, the longest he's ever had was the field goal he kicked here tonight, the 47-yarder. Had a 46-yarder earlier in this season.
Watch for Kevin Wyatt. He's number 7 on Arkansas. He's the designated kick blocker, and he'll usually put a pretty good rush on. He's lining up on the outside down left. Let's see what happens. They got their blocking set up to that side. It's on the way.
Not enough.
And not enough. And it's over. It's over. And Arkansas has won the 8th annual Holiday Bowl before over 50,000 fans here at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. A tremendous come from behind fourth quarter, 18-17 final. We'll be right back. We'll wrap it up and have a final word after finish. 18-17, Arkansas beats Arizona State, and the kicking game took over in the second half.
Well, the irony, Eddie, it was a field goal by Arizona that kept Arizona State out of the Rose Bowl. A field goal by Arkansas tonight wins it for the Holiday Bowl. And as classic as this game was, the best class I think I saw was on the field as Arkansas players went up to Kent Bostrom, the field goal kicker for Arizona State, and in sympathy, congratulated him, surrounded him, let him know that it was okay, because he did have a great night, 3 for 4 in field goals. It wasn't his fault.
Well, it was another one of those finishes, and they can rewrite the script again. It's unbelievable what they do year in and year out here at the Holiday Bowl. We have more college football coverage coming up for you on USA. And again, we'll remind you that on December 30th, Kyle and I are up north in Anaheim, and we'll bring you the Freedom Bowl when the Huskies of Washington take on the Buffaloes of Colorado. Game time, 8 o'clock Eastern. Then on December 31st, the Blue Bonnet Bowl from Houston. It's Air Force's Academy taking on the Longhorns of Texas. Game time at 2:30 Eastern. And finally on January 18th, North meets South in one of college football's oldest all-star games, the Senior Bowl, and a 1 o'clock start. College football continues on USA Sports. Most valuable offensive player, Bobby Joe Edmonds. Most valuable defensive player, Greg Battle. Some ball game. Tonight's Holiday Bowl was brought to you by Mobil 1 Synthetic Motor Oil. Mobil 1 protects your engine better than any other conventional motor oil. And by Jeep Cherokee, the 4-wheel drive vehicle that's all Jeep, body and soul. Sports coats provided by Tailored Classics from Levi Strauss & Company. Once again, final score, the Holiday Bowl. It was Arkansas 18, Arizona State 17. For Kyle Rote Jr., this is Eddie Doucette wishing you a good night from the Holiday Bowl in San Diego, California. Executive producer of USA Sports is Jim Zrake. Our producer, Gary Dubin. Our coordinating producer, Stephen Feder. Our associate producers, Kevin Landy and Tim Rapley. Our production coordinator tonight was Barbara Travers. And our executive in charge of production was Dick Ross. College Football 85 is a presentation of USA Sports.